Uh, Thank you, Christian, and thank you, the organizers, actually, to organize this kind of event and bring us here to share our own experiences from the affected community. I'm from the southwest coastal region in Bangladesh, which is known as the mangrove forest area, Sundarban. So. And Bangladesh is a deltaic low plain land, so geographically it is very much vulnerable to the natural disasters. And I will say that the climate change has actually heightened its vulnerability over the last 20 years. And I will say that because of the climate change, the cyclone has been increased. And frequent in our country every year. And flood is also very common. And this is because of excessive rainfall. This is because of water coming from the Himalayas in the north of our country. This is because of high tides and tidal surge since the sea level has been rising. So all this actually creating flood in our country and causing sufferings for the people. On the other hand, I will focus on the escalation of salinization in water in soil, and it has a very critical impact on the lives and livelihood of the people in our region. On the other hand, it is river erosion because of the tidal surge and the poor constructed embankments. It's destroying every time, and the river erosion is happening, and it's also causing people to displace from their own home state to the other places. And in terms of the government response, I'll say yes, the government has a number of initiatives, but most of the cases the response are very much short-termed, post-event type, support and services, and that actually have not enough, opportunity for the people to build on or the coverage of this kind of support and assistance is very low or is not enough to help people to build sustainable adaptation and resilience. So in that context, actually, what people do, people usually depend on taking loan from different kind of money lender organizations or microcredit organizations so that they can build their destroyed houses, they can build again or restart their livelihood activities that they did have. But the climate event is very much repetitive and frequent nowadays. So they don't have enough time nowadays to pay off the previous loan before the next event comes and destroy all the resources and belongings that they do have. So that's why they actually fall into trap of debt. And our recent research, longitudinal research, is saying that around 81% household of that particular region in the southeast coastal belt in Bangladesh have loan debt due to the took loan due to the climate change events. And out of 81%, 58% people or household have are taking continuous loan because they are not able to pay. So they take loan from one organization and pay to the other, and then take another loan from another organization, pay to the other. So in that way, they are falling into the trap. When they are already in debt trap and they have no other livelihood options in the community, they are compelled to migrate. Initially, what I say that yes, because of the river erosion, because of losing our livelihood opportunities, there was a trend of displacement at the initial stage, I will say, when the cyclone Ayla and cyclone Sidor hit Bangladesh in 2007 and 2009 respectively. And then, the people also started to migrate in different districts to find new livelihood opportunities. And I can give an example of an indigenous community representative. He said that yes, when the cyclone Ayla hit the country and the coastal belt, and the water was stuck for more than 6 months, and it actually destroyed all the agricultural activities, and it has been increased the salinization. So since then, he started to migrate in one season, particularly in the dry season, to work in the bricklane. But now, after 20 years, he said that now he has to migrate several times, and he has to, stay out of his home more than 10 months in a year, because he participated in a bricklane for 6 months, then come to home and go to other districts to join in other kind of works and come back and go on. So it's like 10 months he now spent outside of home to earn alternative livelihood to support the family. And again, it is not enough for these people actually to migrate several times and, earn money and support the family. So our recent trend in our area is that people are taking international migration, and it is through the existing labor migration corridor. And if I talk about the labor migration corridor, so yes, Bangladesh is champion. I will say it's one of the major source country for workforce in overseas employment since 1970s. And but again, yes, the migration governance system is very poor and very much corrupted, I will say. And that's why when people take this corridor to migrate, they fall into different kind of exploitative situations. And I will say there is hardly any protection system in the whole migration cycle to support the migrant workers. And migrant workers, most of the cases, considered as commodity rather than a human being. So their human rights are often neglected by the states, by the employers, by the business and other body. And there is no way to file complaints. There is no way to get compensation. So the people who are already induced by climate change, who are already falling into debt trap, these people are taking a risk to migrate overseas to find a better future, to help their family. And they are migrating with a huge amount of loan because they don't have any money to pay the high migration costs. So they are taking loan. And when they are going abroad, our research saying that most of them are not getting work permit when they are they reach in the destination countries. They are being forced to work without pay. They are being forced to be undocumented because they are not getting any documents, and they are getting arrested by the police, been detained, and many of them are returning back home empty-handed, being the victim of human rights, survivor of human rights violations, human trafficking, modern slavery, whatever we say. And when they return back, there is no other means actually to build on. So when they're taking the international migration or internal migration, if I talk about internal migration, again, they are, working in bricklane and other informal sectors. So when they are treated as a worker in the informal sector, they have no rights actually to file complaints, to get justice and compensation and so on. So, in all aspects, migrant workers who are being forced to migrate in the context of climate change, they are facing terrible human rights violation, and they have no way to file complaints to get compensation. So yeah, I will stop here, but maybe I can focus on the policies and other issues later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shakirul.